What is up, Dan fam, and welcome back to another awesome store review. Now, everybody's been asking me to do store reviews, and I have a lot of links to go through. It just so happens that I randomly picked one, and this is what we're doing here today. So I'm reviewing somebody's Shopify store here today. As a matter of fact, the review comes in at a whopping 5.57 out of 10. I'm going to show you everything and how I got this review and how I got the number out of 10. And it's very important you pay very close attention till the very end. Now, before I go ahead and dive into the store review, I do have something to tell you really quick, so pay very, very close attention. Everybody's been asking me for more so a step-by-step sequential e-commerce training series, if you will. And I decided to go ahead and put this together for you for free for this entire month. As a matter of fact, this is gonna be 100% free for the next 4 weeks only. So if you're watching this in 2019, this most likely will not be free. This will probably be a paid 90-day challenge. So what this is literally every single day for the next 90 days, you're gonna be walked through exactly how to go out there and create a successful e-commerce dropshipping store from scratch. I'm gonna tell you everything that you need. So what I recommend you do right now is enroll. Enroll into this, and I broke it down into 4 phases, but every single day, you're gonna be able to go ahead and watch a new video, anywhere from 10 minutes to 20 minutes long. And I will say that I built this out almost as if I was building out a course, because this is gonna be content provided to you 100% for free every single day. Exclusive content that you can't just watch on this channel, exclusive information and everything that you need to know as well. So let's just jump into the store review right now. If you want the 90-day e-com challenge, it's in the description down below. And like I said, only for the next 4 weeks will you have the ability to go ahead and register for this for free. But once we do turn it into more so of a paid program, you won't have to go ahead and buy anything. So get in now while it's free before we go ahead and put a price tag on this after the 4 weeks are over. So again, let's just dive into it right now. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is the store. So it's 8penguins.com, and I picked this out from a random YouTube commenter who asked me to go through their store. Now, I do have a lot to say about this, so let me go right over here to my spreadsheet and go through everything that I went through on my own time. So when I review stores, I like to pretty much get criteria and then give it a number out of 10 that I would rate it. And this is everything that I wanted to show you over here. Now, the logo is a 7 out of 10. Why is it a 7 out of 10? Because if we look very closely, it's not a vector image. Now, what a vector image is essentially the raw form of an image. So if you get a logo created, more than anything, it's created in Adobe Illustrator if a professional designer gives it to you, and you want that vector file. It's the most raw file image, raw file data that you can have. And if you have that vector, you can upload as big as you want or as small as you want without it being pixelated. Now over here, I can definitely tell that it would be a little bit, it's a little bit pixelated, which means that if I had to assume this logo was literally bought from Fiverr.com or somewhere that was spent less than $20 to get this particular logo. So put a little more emphasis into your logo, if you will, and I give it a 7 out of 10 because there is still a logo here, but it's not super high quality. If it was higher quality, I'd give it an 8 or a 9 just because originality, it's nothing special here. But again, I'm nitpicking this given the fact that you want me to nitpick this. So again, like I said, just make sure next time that your logo is a little bit higher of quality. So let's talk about the layout next. Now the layout, I gave it an 8 out of 10. Why? Because of the animation. So if you scroll down, you start seeing right here, it's animated, right? The problem with animations, and I give it an 8 out of 10 because the layout is actually nice. The layout is really good, as a matter of fact, once we break some certain aspects down. The problem is animations really slow down your site. Animations will go ahead, and we'll talk about site speed in a little bit. One of the reasons why I know it slows down your site is because I had people complaining in my ads that the site wouldn't load, and depending where they were in the world. So maybe they were in Europe, it would load probably 20-30 seconds slower than it would load in the US, and in the US it would still load pretty slow. And once I stopped the animations from happening, that's when the site actually picked up the speed. So animations are really, really bad for your store because they slow it down really bad. So I gave you an 8 out of 10. Now, speed test, okay? Speed test, I ran a speed test on your particular site. As a matter of fact, I took screenshots of it as well. So give me 1 second as I pull this up, because this is data that I got from last night. So as you can see right over here, I tested this in Stockholm, okay? Now, you can see the load time is around 37 seconds. Now on average, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds is pretty good. You're loading at 37.03 seconds. That's extremely slow. It literally takes half a minute for somebody to go ahead and load up your entire storefront just on the home page. That's really bad. Now, if you're looking at New York City, right, over here it's 12.72 seconds. Now, definitely faster, okay? Way faster, as a matter of fact, 25 seconds faster. However, the problem is it still doesn't hit my quota of, the 3 to 8 second range. Now, 3 to 8 seconds is really good. You should work on site speed. And what has a direct correlation with site speed? The layout and other factors like how big your logo is and other different varying factors. So when it comes down to it, you've definitely failed the speed test for your site. Unfortunately, that has a lot to do with your layout. As a matter of fact, it has everything to do with your layout. I guarantee once you remove the animations and you kind of just have everything load and pop up at one time, it'll work, it'll be a lot faster for you. It's definitely something I suggest. Now, the Adobe color scheme, I give you a 10 out of 10. Now, the reason I give you a 10 out of 10 is because of the fact that you have white and a simple bluish and gray right down here. Now, the blue and the gray complement each other because this dark blue, this navy blue, if you will, and this lighter gray, they're very complementary. So I like it. I personally think it looks fairly well. And if we go ahead and we went to Adobe Color, right? If we just type this in, Adobe Color, this is really good for you to go ahead and take a look at colors that you can potentially use. So if I just went to Explore and I were to just type in navy, right? So I type in navy and right over here, navy blue belt, you have like a shade of navy as well and a gray. So you have the gray over here. And I never did this research, just so you know. It's the first time I'm actually doing it, and I gave you a 10 because the colors are very complementary. And I assume that's because of the theme default. That's not something that you picked. And somebody who's creating and visualizing this on the theme side, whatever theme you're using, already had an idea of exactly what colors work well together. So I give you a 10 out of 10 for that because it does look fine. However, your logo also matches up with the theme, which lets me kind of assume that you might have done some more research with your colors than I might even think you've done. So good for you on that. I give you a 10 out of 10. Now, easy menu, okay? Here's the problem that I have with your menu, is that if I hover over shop and I click on, I can't even click on it, so there we go. If I click on shirt, nothing happens. This is really bad, and there's nothing under shirt, hoodies, design your own, right? You have to actually click on the image. Now, this is really bad because there's nothing that tells me I need to click on the image. We typically don't gravitate towards images to click on them unless there's a call to action in the image. Now, if you had an image that said, click here with the t-shirt, that's completely different. However, if somebody clicks on t-shirt, it looks like a link that's broken. This is really bad. That's why I gave you a 4 out of 10 here, all right? The links aren't clickable. So like I said, shop, t-shirt, hoodies, etc. You actually have to click on the particular image, and not everybody knows to click on the image. You don't make it very transparent. You don't make it easy for people to know that. You can't assume that people know to click on the actual image. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know. I thought there was something wrong with your store programmatically, where maybe some programmers were updating and whatnot, and then I actually tried to click on the images, and that's when I realized that that was the actual problem, is that the images are clickable, not the actual link. And if you go onto shop, I see these little lines, right? These lines that kind of break up the categories, and you can have different criteria under those categories, which also tells me that you have the ability to add different subcategories under this one category of t-shirt, which you're not utilizing. And unfortunately, that's probably costing you a lot of money or a lot of sales, if you're even generating sales right now. So make sure you fix that before you go ahead and continue, because you want to add maybe you could do men and women, whatever you want to do, right? Just make sure that you give people options here. That's super important. Mobile friendly, and let's break this down right here, because this is what I had a big problem with, okay? So I did this on your home page. That's all I really focused on, was your home page, but your header looks absolutely hard. It looks like garbage right here, okay? So you have sign in and join in, I don't know what it's doing down there. You have fast and free shipping worldwide, easy ordering. This isn't programmed correctly. If you can on your mobile version, perhaps get rid of this. I know where this comes into play when you're on desktop, but on mobile it looks absolutely bad. It looks horrible. So I give it a 4 out of 10 there. I didn't even want to continue on because that right there, it just kind of messes up everything. If somebody clicks on your particular store, goes to the homepage and they see that, there's a lot of credibility that's lost there as well because it doesn't seem professional, right? You're a brand that nobody really knows about and they're coming to your site and it just kind of looks, in so many words, it looks really ugly. So again, if they come to a product page, they see this, they're like, what's going on here? So that's not really good. So let's just go to the product page now. We're gonna talk about description, multiple images, etc. So the description is actually pretty good. Now, even though you don't get descriptive in your description, you don't need to because that's not your store and that's not the type of product that you're selling, which is fine. So for your description, I give it a 10 out of 10. High quality Fruit of the Loom brand t-shirt. Your order will be delivered in 2 to 4 weeks. This is good. You're letting them know exactly when it will arrive. Free shipping worldwide, 30-day money-back guarantee if not 100% satisfied. Order the right size. Now, the only reason I would consider going down to a 9 out of 10 is because you don't have trust badges. Now, trust badges are huge for every single product. Trust badges, think about this, ready? Think about you taking Visa, American Express, MasterCard, their logos and slapping it all over your site. What does that do? Well, it goes ahead and gives the credibility of American Express, the trust of Visa, right to your site. So people are familiar with those logos, they are familiar with those brands, they trust those brands more than they trust you, so you adding their logos onto your particular site makes you more trusted in their eyes. That's why you want to have trust badges and whatnot and approval badges, etc. So multiple product images as well. You know what, before I go ahead and do that, for your description, I'm going to give you a 9 out of 10. And why 9 out of 10? Because like I said before, you don't fully have trust badges. And trust badges for me has always been a huge thing. Now we're going to go and look right over here at your particular product images and more products at the bottom. You have the product images exactly like I said. Most people will actually just put one. Unfortunately, just having one product image doesn't give anybody firm understanding or a firm grasp of what that product can look like. You should always have a product shot on somebody and a product shot front and back. If there's something on the back, definitely include the back. But you want to have different angles of what they're going to be purchasing as well. Give them more ways to take a look at the product that they want. It will help the user with their purchasing decision. And not only that, related products. So many people don't do this. This is something that has been proven to work time and time again, and I don't know why, but nobody really does this. As a matter of fact, this is something, I think the very first company that realized it worked super well is Amazon, when they just have all those products that you see at the bottom. It says, people who purchased this also purchased, and it'll show you different products, and then they'll say, hey, how about we bundle this for this price, right? So you have products at the bottom, which is, again, 10 out of 10, I'll give that to you. It's really good that you have that, but I think that's a theme perk. I'm not too sure about this theme, but I do think it's a theme perk because it seems like something that would be included inside of this theme. And I also see the top rated products as well. If I refresh, I don't know why it's not appearing. This is a site loading issue as well, not a my internet issue. So again, this is a site load problem. It's just something you definitely have to figure out as well. So again, top rated products, you have them right on the side as well. So this is really good. It looks really nice. In regards to an e-commerce store where people might enjoy purchasing from, I definitely would say you're doing a good job. However, there's a lot that you can really work on. Now, here's something that I checked out before as well. Add extra items to cart. When somebody adds an item to the cart, so let's choose an option, okay, and I'm gonna click add to cart. Now the product's gonna go to the cart, but when I click add to cart, you can use applications like Bold Upsell that when you click add to cart, it says, hey, thanks so much for adding to cart. Now the product gets added to cart, but what happens is something else pops up, a box, and it says, hey, how about this for this price? Thank you so much for adding this t-shirt, crazy, whatever, crazy, right? I'm gonna call it crazy for short. Thank you for adding crazy to your cart. How about you get, these 2 t-shirts for 20% off? There's apps that let you do that the moment you click add to cart. So the product gets added to cart, and then you just see a pop-up that appears right in front of your face on your site that says, hey, how about you add this as well? Then that's how you're gonna increase immediate purchases and immediate revenue as well, aside from the fact that you want to go out there and make sure that you have something like SendLane or an autoresponder to make sure the back-end process happens seamlessly, which is something we're going to really talk about, right? So again, over here, the upsell, like bold upsells, I'm giving you a 0 out of 10 because you have no immediate upsell option, which you're leaving a lot of money on the table. And I get it. You might not want that particular app because you're not getting anybody to purchase just yet, but it's gonna really, really help when somebody does purchase and then you realize, wait a minute, I could have made more money from them. I should have just had it there from the beginning. So rather than not having it, it's more important to have it because when you start making sales, you can make even more money. Just kind of keep that in mind. So pop-ups and emails, this is a cool little section that is so vital in the time that we're in this era of e-commerce, and nobody's talking about this. So now I'm gonna start nitpicking stores that don't have this and letting you know that you need to have this. So the bottom of your particular theme, and any theme at that, is gonna have a register, okay? And I registered for this, and the problem that I see and why I gave it an 8 out of 10 is because if I click subscribe, right, it says right down here, thank you for your message, it has been sent. Now, I don't know what message has been sent because I don't remember typing in a message. So make sure you get that changed. Make sure your developer gets that changed because that makes no sense. So given at the bottom, you get an 8 out of 10, not a 10 out of 10, an 8 out of 10 because of the fact that that message makes absolutely no sense. So, some way to collect leads and emails. I gave you a 0 out of 10 now. I didn't put an explanation on the sheet for you. And the reason why I didn't put an explanation on the sheet for you is because there's so many ways that you can do this. What I'm gonna suggest for you to do is on the 90-day e-com challenge, the very first thing that we talk about, if you go and take a look at the 90-day e-com challenge right over here, the very first thing we talk about is email and how to set this all up. You need to be doing this. If you want to be successful in e-commerce, drop shipping, whether or not it's a brand, you're trying to go in-house fulfillment, or you're trying to go ahead and drop ship, if you're not doing this, you are leaving so much money on the table. As a matter of fact, this is how you're actually going to be able to quote unquote go negative on the front end and still make a profit on the back. Very, very important that you have this, right? So again, I'm giving you a 0 out of 10 because there's no way that you're collecting any leads. I don't see any way for you to collect leads over here. Now, marketing, is your pixel installed? And this is where everything just, this is where everything kind of went bad for you. You don't have a Facebook pixel on here. I mean, I don't know what you're doing. You might not be using Facebook, but you still want a pixel on here to track all your data just in case you ever want to advertise via Instagram or you want to advertise via Facebook. You know, they're quite useful from time. So I guess if you don't want a pixel there, you don't need a pixel there, but I don't know why you wouldn't. And live chat support or a Facebook chatbot. I used this yesterday. As a matter of fact, let me pull up a picture. So here it is. Hi, can we answer a question for you? Is this live? Is your chat live? Needless to say, your chat isn't live, and unfortunately, you're probably wasting money on this chat application because nobody helped me at all. And it's just unfortunate. If you're gonna use a chat app, at least collect your leads via Facebook Messenger. Make everybody's life easier, if you will. So again, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about with your store. Overall, you get a 5.5. This store was actually pretty bad, okay? So there's no way, there's absolutely no way to sugarcoat it. This store was not pleasant to go through. There was just so much done wrong that could have been done right. This reminded me of a store that somebody threw together in around 15 minutes worth of time, went into Photoshop, took bare minimum of the length and width and just threw something together and went and found a penguin on Google, like a penguin icon, and threw together a quick logo and then just went to Oberlo and just added some. That's what this store reminds me of. So note to you, especially for the owner of 8 Penguin, I don't mean to really rip into you, but this site is absolutely terrible, okay? I mean, I'm trying to say this in the nicest way possible. It's just not something that, there's so many factors that go into this. The site speed is what I'm really upset about when you create this, because the number one thing you want to make sure is your site speed, and you have some sort of email automation set up. And I saw somewhere the other day that somebody said around 33 or 34%, something like that, some pretty drastic number of e-commerce sales right now are coming via email. And majority of profits, anywhere from 60 to 70% of profit, of your store profit, will come from email. And that's one of the reasons why I set up the 90-day e-com challenge, because we're gonna set this up correctly. So the moment you go ahead and register for the 90-day e-com challenge, we set this up, that's the very first thing we set up. And you need to make sure you're following this all the way through. The link will be in the description for this. So again, for the owner of 8 Penguin, I do have 2 suggestions. Number 1, follow the 90-day e-com challenge to get your store built correctly from the ground up. We can take what you have and build it even better, build it way better. And number 2 is use SendLane for your automation. As a matter of fact, I don't just want you to go to sendlane.com. I'm the only one, and I don't really think I should be revealing this in this video, but I will now. I'm the only one who has this, okay? And I'm gonna open this in an incognito window. I'm the only one who has, whoops, that's Shopify. Right over here. I'm the only one who has this. So right over here, this is deep data for Shopify by SendLane. And you can't get this anywhere else except the 90-day challenge. So literally, you can't go to SendLane. No other SendLane YouTuber is gonna have this. So this right here, from me to you, I'm telling you, this is automation at its finest. You wanna know how we're making a lot of money? This right here. You wanna go ahead and make a lot of money? The 90-day e-com challenge. The link's in the description. Dan Fam Notification Squad, it's been real, and I hope you enjoyed this store review, and I'm sorry for the owner of 8 Penguin that I had to really rip into you. Get involved in the 90-day e-com challenge. You have 4 weeks to enroll for free and start taking action, right? 4 weeks, and it'll be free for life. Free for life. So if you are on day number 70 and we close down and we actually put a price tag on this, you'll still have it for free. Everything's free if you enroll within the next 4 weeks. Get in right now to the 90-day e-com challenge. It's on me, Dan Fam Notification Squad. It's been real. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, by the way, we're back with daily videos. So get ready. See you tomorrow.